Members of the board, for the record, my name is Liz Dent, and I serve as the State Forest Division Chief with the Oregon Department of Forestry. I really do appreciate the opportunity to address the board today on behalf of the Department of Forestry. In response to the solicitation for proposals, the department submitted a letter basically affirming our continued interest in staying engaged with the Land Board and DSL as you work towards a long-term solution for the Elliott State Forest. Our letter focused on a possible role for management and clearly did not have a proposal to purchase and own the Elliott. We're all aware of the series of financial, environmental, and social circumstances that have shaped the current challenge to own and manage the Elliott, and overcoming obstacles is nothing new when it comes to the Elliott. I think it's important to consider our current challenges in the context of those that were faced by the first state forester, Francis Elliott, and then Governor Oswald West. Their vision to establish the first state forest was realized in 1930 after 15 years that were spent assessing and finally identifying a viable land base, getting support and approval from the state legislature, and successfully negotiating several federal acts of Congress. The forest was established during the first year of the Great Depression, so there was no funding to cover the cost to manage the young, second growth, fire regenerated forest with steep slopes and no roads. We face a different set of challenges now that weren't really present in 1930. And we've made this case before, but I think it bears repeating. ODF's sound management of the Elliott State Forest has created a biologically diverse, healthy, and productive public forest that is host to northern spotted owls, marbled murrelets, and Oregon coast coho, all of which, as we all know, are listed as threatened under the Endangered Species Act. So there are understandably very high expectations and often competing priorities from the public on what the Elliott can and should provide for Oregonians. So ODF has a long history of managing the Elliott and the other 33,000 acres of the common school forest land, as this board is well familiar. In addition to managing the Department of Forestry's Board of Forestry lands, we're also actively engaged in supporting the Forest Service and ODFW in the management and restoration on some of their forest land. And I would argue that this speaks to and exemplifies ODF as a forestry leader in Oregon.